Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another review for Anime Month, and review another favorite anime that I've come to enjoy to call as one of my favorites of the animes, and which I have here, which I'll review on it came out in 2 seasons, and there's been 2 movies though, but for one I'll be reviewing both the seasons. But the second season is a different title, though. Well, slightly different title, but I'll just be reviewing both of them anyway. But I've come to enjoy this series. Yeah, it's more of comedy though, but there is still moments of serious moments and good action, and for the ones dealing with one of our main characters. So, but it's mostly for a comedy. But there is good certain character moments, with a little drama, a little subtlety, and serious moments of that happens in this series. And starting with the first season that came out in 2009, and so it's been 10 years. I can't believe this series has been 10 years, and that is I come to enjoy. That is Heaven's Lost Property. Yeah, from the cover of this, it's another fan service type of anime though. But like I said, despite that, dealing with the cover like this, like character moments and for a side story that I like, and like I said, the fan service if you get past that, you have a good story with the characters and stuff like that. So, but Heaven's Lost Property can be released in 2009, and for the anime series, it's based on, well, like I said, like for all the ones I've reviewed are based on manga series. But I would like to get the manga series for this here though, but apparently it's only in Japanese, so since I can't read Japanese, so. But as for the anime series, I do come to enjoy. And the story as follows, with Heaven's Lost Property, it follows our main character named Tomoki. He's a young guy, like 15, I think, and He lives in this quiet town called Sarami City. It's a little quiet town surrounded by mountains, and he's with he lives directly next door to his childhood friend named Sahara. They've known since they were kids, and he's been having these weird dreams about this blue-haired girl who's like an angel with angel wings. He's been having these weird dreams, the same dreams for a number of years, and which the first episode starts off pretty good, for me, and like Sarah wanted to ask Sugata, who's this other guy at school, who's kind of like a smart guy. But he's like interested in this place called the New World, and he's also interested in flying as well. And he first you see him jump off the roof on a hang glider and crashes down. And there's also a girl named this a second here. Sometimes the thing is pretty slow on certain things. There was a Mikiko. Yeah, Mikiko. And which also the girl that Sagata knows, and she's also like a rich girl as well, because her father is like in the, if you look, she's in the organized crime type of stuff. So, So they talk to Sagata about his weird dreams, and to one point where told him to where there's a big cherry blossom tree is out in the field, until that night when he's about to leave. something this hole appears from this black hole appears from the sky, and then something falls down to the ground, and we get our other main character here, Icarus, who is an angeloid. At first, the Tomiki didn't want to notice, just ignore it, walk away, but he can't help but help her out of there, because Tomiki, all he wants is the motto is always saying he always wants peace and quiet. He wants to live peacefully and have quietness, keep to himself, but it's always never gonna happen because everything of the whole series he never gets peace and quiet. But he helps out Icarus, and she activates herself, imprints that with the chain collar around her neck, and makes Tomiki become her master. So, and he tells her what she is. He tells him what she is, and grant wishes. And I like for the one part where Tomiki does take advantage of the wishing, because I can wish wherever I want, right? So first, if he wants to believe that she can grant wishes, he asks for a bunch of cash. So she does it, gives him a bunch of cash, and since she can do all the stuff, he next makes himself invisible so that he can sneak over to Sarah's house and caress her chest, basically. So yeah, he's a pervert, and he's always fascinated with the girls' chests and their panties as well. That's what he is. And beside all that, what he does, he is a kind, caring person though, but he's just more fascinating being a pervert. He takes advantage, he makes time free so he can take a look at the skirts of other girls at school, and then when it comes to realize, when he says another thing, he wants to take over the world, Icarus takes a literally where he. What you get, like I said, it's a comedy though, but it does get this very some of the serious moments in this show. For instance, when he says he wants to take over the world, the next day, just when Sahar knocks at his door, when he goes to answer it, she's gone, all but her clothes, and he's checking the channels everywhere, no other people around except even at school, except all the clothes got left behind. So he comes to realize that he's the only human on Earth now, and he realizes that what he has done, he feels really bad about it. So he now knows what the consequences of certain wishes can do now. So that was a good serious moment where he now realizes the consequences of certain things to be said and his actions. So, he wishes this was all just a nightmare. So Icarus reverses it by going back to that same day by saying that it was all a dream that you made up. So he places everything back the way it was until now we get into the second episode where Sahar finds Tomiki with Icarus, and this is running gag throughout each and every episode, where whenever Sora sees that Tomiki is being a pervert and a creep, right, she karate chops him about a million times, ah! And first she ends up buying, even though Icarus is literally flying, but she's not buying into it, and then before she goes to school, where she gives him this glowing card, and she leaves, and one point where Sahara, she trips into Tomiki sees her panties, which has a picture of a dog, and he's like saying, she's not in elementary school. I wish she can wear something more grown up. And then all of a sudden, her panties fly off. And he's like, Tomoki. She gets pissed, hits him some more. So now she has to find something to put under because she's not wearing anything underneath. And wherever she tries to put something on, they just fly off. So. Pardon me. And then Sugata comes to a realization when Icarus explains that, when Tomoki says, "Oh, panties! I need panties," and Icarus uses the car to get transport all the panties in the school to literally remove every single girl's panties in the school to come towards him, and then they all just go and fly off in a group like a flock of birds. And Sugata explains that because Tomoki didn't like the underwear that Sahara was wearing, so he wants Sahara to try on a different pair of underwear that Tomoki would like. So one point he makes her try on all different kinds of panties, except for they all fly away, except for one that has a picture of a teddy bear on it, and that worked. So, and then as more it keeps on going, like I say, it's a game more comedy in each episode though. But like I said, there is serious moments in it where, by one episode where, there's one episode where they're where Tomoki and Sahara, they're stuck on an island together. You get developments between the two of them, but I guess ended by comedy though. But and then another episode where a new angeloid comes in, and that is of her right here by the name of Nymph. She is like what Icarus. She's a type class alpha, and what Nymph is, she is a type class beta. And with differences, also thing is though with Icarus, she has a kind of like a sad expression for her face because she had basically her emotion program is not there. It's been tucked away basically in her programming, so she barely has any emotion. So she's talking she's with a sad tone to her. So, but except for Nymph, she is fully in control of her emotions, which in the second season she explains about that though. One more time when Nymph comes down because she goes to the beach with all the whole group, and at first she starts being a little bit mean because she's always calling up there in the synapse. They always looking down at the humans, calling them bugs or insects. And so it's kind of Nymph kind of tells them the same thing. You're just a bug, And you get moments where, when it was Sahara, she wanted to go boating with Tomoki, but she gets upset when he sees that that Tomoki's trying to teach Icarus how to swim because since she's an angeloid, she sinks to the bottom of the ocean. So, but then you get a little backstory that Sahara can't swim. She tried teaching. Tomoki tried teaching her to swim, but no good. So she goes boating on her own, but she ends up drifting far away. She falls in the water, starts drowning, but Tomoki goes in and saves her. And then later during the night, when Tomoki and Icarus walking on the beach, they see some punks harassing Nymph because she's much younger. Icarus starts to get like mash her like her eyes because this is an Angeloid like computer eyes start going from green to red, and showing that she's very powerful. Because Nymph knows that she's not just a Icarus claims she's a pet class, but realistically she's a battle Angeloid, a battle class type, and when she was there, she has another name, the Uranus Queen, a very powerful weapon. Which you get a flashback which dates back like a couple thousand years. It shows like she destroyed like kind of like a Rome type city, like in Rome, like old people wearing like the togas and stuff like that. You get like a flashback where she used this sort of like a super bow and arrow to destroy entire civilization. So you get like a backstory like that where she is a powerful weapon, and Nymph knows that, but and her mission was for her master up there, the master of the Synapse, wants her to bring her back to, but since at one point in another episode where during this festival that's been going on, and you get this guy who's who's smoking a cigarette. What was I forget her name again? Mikiko. I just said it and I'm messing up the name again. I think it's Mikiko. Yeah, she since she's rich, she's organizes this little tournament, this little shooting tournament, and the winner gets like 10 million yen. Yeah, Mikiko. I always keep on forgetting that how I pronounce her name, but and she has like everyone in town starts shooting, right? And Icarus goes and takes his freaking Gatling gun and starts shooting everybody to take them out. Doesn't kill them. It's just like they're like just like rubber bullets and stuff like that, harmless. And with Nymph, but I also said Nymph gets Icarus goes and finds Nymph alone, and Nymph wants to fight her. She knows that she is the Uranus Queen, the weapon that they want, and she tries to unlock her. Because since that Icarus has so much memory stuff, her memories have been stored away. Nymph hacks into her program and tries to unlock her emotional stuff and showing her memories of what she can do, how powerful she is as a weapon, and she awakens the Uranus Queen and she starts beating the crap out of Nymph. Even what Nymph describes that her battle skills are low, so she only has like a one weapon she can use, like this beam that she can shoot out of her, like paradise something. She said paradise something, I forget, but doesn't do any good though. So she retreats back to the Synapse, saying, calling her the weapon of death. And by the tournament, which you get a little funny. When the tournament is over, which the guy who has a gun that owns that gun booth, he wins, and they're wondering where Nymph has went until the next episode, when she comes back to keep an eye on Icarus, and that's when Icarus, since she wants to learn how to be like more human, she learns the method of lying. So she starts telling lies like to Tomoki, Sahara, and everyone else. So, and then the next episode where Tomoki, since the girls are going to this bathhouse, he wants to, since him being the pervert he is, he wants to, get a chance to look inside the girls taking a bath together. So he goes for Sugata, saying, "Oh, this is the new world." He becomes like, because since Sugata is fascinated with the new world, like Tomoki tells him this is about the new world, and so he helps him use one of the cars he had, and creates this little device that he can change himself into a girl. So he called himself Tomoko, which I mistakenly said earlier, but that's the alternate name that he uses when he becomes a girl. So it is like working where he's fooled everyone that they believe that he's not Tomoki, but he's a girl. But when he gets to the bathhouse, his like hormones are getting the best of him, so he forces him, changes him back into a guy, and then he gets the crap beaten out of him. Or I forgot to mention like the fourth episode when all the panties from the second episode, they all start flying back to his house, and Sahara gets pissed and tears them all up. And at one point where she takes all the cards from Icarus and makes she uses one of the cards that whenever Tomoki looks at a pair of panties, it explodes in his face. So it was only for one day, and I did get a chuckle where Tomoki says, "Oh, Sahara, you got a bug in your wall." He's like, "Oh, where?" And with her back turned, he glances at the panties that Sahara is wearing, and he's like, and then makes the panties that she's wearing explode. He's like, calls her dumbass. You think I wouldn't see you wearing your panties under the windowsill? And he's like, and she gets pissed, like, "Oh, you baby pervert! I hope you burn alive today." So there's a comments I thought that's pretty funny. So, but like I said, the more of the serious stuff that happens, I do like though, because it does have moments of levity and a little bit of character moments in it as well. Until towards the end of the first season, when it's Christmas time coming around, and they want to make a special for Icarus and Nymph, and for one point where Tomoki's trying to make Icarus how to smile, but she can't. And since they're doing more with the Christmas shopping, when Nymph wants to be more alone, and because since she failed with her mission the first time, now you get the first glimpse of what the synapses is. It's above in the sky, but it's kind of there but not. But it's in that little black hole part where Sugata has been looking at, and the synapses up there, and it introduces our villain basically of the series. He does have a name, but he's mostly called to the master of the synapse. That's what for him. I forget how his other name is though, but it goes to show that he is a villain that you just want to hate, because he's a cold-hearted, heartless asshole, basically a douchebag. Especially when he gets amusement. He just does it for shits and giggles for his own amusement, especially when he abuses Nymph for his own amusement. It's like, "Oh, you're trash," and you know, this and that, basically. Until one point where he since Nymph likes birds, so she calls a bird over, and it's like, "Oh, look how cute it is," and then her master goes and says, "Rip its wings off." And it's like, "Do you wish to disobey your master?" So she does it. Even after she rips the wings off, she still gets her ass beaten, and she gets laughed at because her master is such a complete freaking asshole, you know. And you just want to hate him, you know. Just a complete utter douchebag, cold-hearted bastard, basically. And even though she hates being beat, but she still takes it, you know, "Oh, it's good to serve you, master," and all that. So she still has to remain loyal to, because that's what angel lawyers are mostly designed for, to take orders from the master, having them obeyed. So even though she is wrong and she doesn't like being abused, and it saddens her though, but she has no choice but to obey her master still. But I just felt sorry for Nymph, you know, just for that abuse. So like, let's say you get that serious drama moments in there when she's getting abused, and you just can't help but feel sorry for her. And so at one point when it's getting close to when it's Christmas time, the master sends down two more angeloids. One is a griffin and a gamma and a griffin, I think it was. Gamma and harpy, yeah. They're the same. They're identical. They have the same wings and same look, you know, but different hair colors. claiming that to telling Nif, oh, the master is lonely without you, which of course they're lying, because the master would have the master. He's watching the whole time. He's just sitting there laughing. Oh, what they're doing, I'm sure Nif will feel good about this. And then when she comes back, I'll tell her that you're just a hunk of trash, basically. And he's just sitting there lying sadistically. And you can tell he's just still such a freaking cold-hearted douchebag. So yeah, putting her on to toying with her emotions, and when Icarus gets there, they attack. They shoot Icarus, and it's like, oh, why'd you do that? And of course, it tells us that they lied, and she tries to attack them with her atomic beam wherever she can shoot, but it does no good. And then they pin her to the ground, and they rip her wings off. And then Tomoki and the others, they show up to help. And Icarus, she even though she didn't want to tell Tomoki that she's a weapon, but Tomoki, he's like, you know what? I know you didn't want to be a weapon, but in this case, I'm glad you're a weapon. So save Nymph and kick their ass. So yeah, Tomoki he does care about Icarus and for Nymph, despite he is a creep though, but still he does have a heart. So that's what makes me like about the characters in the show, especially Tomoki, he's a creepy pervert, but he does have a heart. He does care about for his friends and for Nymph and Icarus. So Icarus gets into her Uranus Queen mode and beats the two Angeloids as they retreat back, and Tomoki, Sugata, Sahara, and Mikiko, they break Nymph's chain that connects her to her master. So they break the chain, which she was afraid to, because Nymph was afraid they would do it because her collar would set off the detonation that would kill them all. But Tomoki's like, yeah, so. So they break the chain. She's free from her master, and then as the Christmas party goes on, they're celebrating Christmas, as well as they also want to declare Christmas as both of their birthdays as well, since they never had a birthday. So they celebrate Christmas as well as their birthdays, and their first shot they see they hear Icarus do a slight laugh, showing the first bit of emotion that she gets. She's like, like that. It's like, and Tomoki's like, oh wow, do that again, and then she goes and says, laughing. Doesn't do the sound of laughing. She says the word laughing. Earlier when Tomoki's getting her to smile, she says smiling, grinning, like that. So, and afterwards, and then in the last episode of the first season, of course, Tomoki is once again being the pervert, trying to look at the girls in their bathing suits in this pool area, and at the same time, Nymph, she's dictating what she should do, since she no longer has a master. So, whole time she wants to see if Tomoki could be her master, have him order her around, and after which, since Tomoki got the crap beating out of me again, and Nymph tells him, give me an order, and tells her, there's no need to. You're free now. It's free will. You're free to do whatever you want and go wherever you want. So, and I'm just not entirely sure on that. And then it ends with another Angeloid coming in, which comes into the second season of Heaven's Lost Property, Forte, which introduces the third Angeloid, type Delta Astria. So as just really thought on the first season, I do like the first season, especially the first episode. It does have it starts off being comedy, but like I said, how the serious moments when Tomoki realizes that's the consequences of his actions, the wishing, how him being the only human on Earth and everyone's gone though. So the first episode was good, and I do like the other episodes. Like a lot of times it's funny for me, but like I said, when you do get all this serious moments with characters and stuff, it's there and it's good, especially when Icarus is kicking goes into her Uranus Queen mode and kicks the butt out of the kicks ass of the two angeloids. And as for the girl who voiced Icarus, which which I heard her voice in a lot of animes, which I probably said when I reviewed all the whatever animes I have been reviewing. I heard her voice on a lot of them, like I'll mention where she's voiced in going through Battle Girls, Time Paradox, let's say Heaven's Lost Property, High School of the Dead. She voiced the little girl Alice. When I reviewed High School of the Dead, the little girl that her father was killed by when they're trying to get into seek shelter. A couple of humans that just stabs the father, and the girl watched her die. That little girl that goes and joins with the rest of the group. Yeah, that's what Brittany Karbowski, who voiced Icarus. So voiced in Battle Girls Time Paradox, High School of the Dead as the little girl Alice. What was it? Mockingjay, which that's another anime that I have though, but I have not reviewed though. That's one anime. Like I said, I'm not gonna get to like every single anime for this month though, so there's a couple I'm gonna leave out. But I have that one, but I'm not gonna review for this month though. So for that one, she voices a Windy in Fairy Tale, Freezing, Yama's First Time, which I have. She voices Yama. High School DxD, Cat Planet Cuties, which I reviewed. She was Monami. Keep on as I'm going. Parasite. Where she voices Migi. The parasite Migi that's touched with the Shinichi's right hand. So she voices Migi. Shinomata, the one dealing with like where the dirty words or whatever don't exist or banned, whatever. Monster Musume, which I just reviewed one of my birthday gift, that big limited edition of the manga series I'm also reading as well. So yeah, she's voiced in a lot of animes, including this one. So I thought she did a good job as Icarus. Just get into the other voice casts. Greg Aries. This is from the English voice dub cast. Greg Aries, who voices Tomoki, I thought he did a good. I've heard his voice in a couple others. One that's particularly in Dance in the Vampire Bund. He voices one of the students that became a vampire and died. But yeah, I heard him his voice in a couple others though. But he's mostly remember him from this show, Heaven's Lost Property. But the other voice cast like Trina Nishimura, who voices Sohara. Eric Vale, who voices Sugata. See here. And another one particular voice member who voices Mikiko, Jamie Marchi, who I mostly remember who voices Rias Grimmery from High School DxD. Rias Grimmery, our main character that's with her and Issei. Yeah. So yeah, Rhea Scrimmery. So Jamie Marchi, who voices Mikiko, is basically her where my finger is. She voices as Mikiko. So yeah, and I thought she does a good job, a great job as voicing as Rhea Scrimmery from High School DxD. If you've seen with the posters I got, and I am a fan of High School DxD. So yeah, I thought she did a really good job, and she also voices was Rena from the Freezing series as well, and some other voice roles and other animes too, though. But I mostly remember she famously voices Rhea Scrimmery in High School DxD. So, and as well as the other voice cast as Kara Edwards as Nymph, Carly Mosier, I can't pronounce the name, but who voices Astria, the third angel that comes in. And then, yeah, for the most part, yeah, the whole English voice cast does a good job. So, and with all that said and done, now entering with the second season, Heaven's Lost Property, Forte. Immediately picks up where it left off from the second season, where the third angeloid, type Delta, Astria, comes in. Sent there to take out Tomoki. But because with Tomoki's connection, his dreams connecting with the synapse, so they sent him down. So the master synapse sends Astria down to destroy Tomoki. But he's not in real danger because even like Nymph says, "Oh, if it's Delta, he's perfectly fine." And she explains to Sahara and Sagata that that Delta, Tomoki's no real danger from Delta, Astria, because which he explains how there's three things. There's emotion, combat, and composition. Or was it computation? I believe it was computation or composition. I forget is the other word that since like Nymph has computation and emotional skills, her combat skills are low. That's why she doesn't have that many weapons except for her beam wherever she shoots out. So yeah, her combat skills are low, and with Icarus, since she has combat and composition, her emotional skills are low. That's why most of the time she's almost shows no emotion. Although you do see her cry though. That's another character moment where she starts breaking down crying. So that's a little thing though. But like smiling or laughing, that type of emotions. So and since with Astria, since I'll hold this other one here, I'll be reviewing next. Astria, her right there. Since she has emotional and combat skills, her composition levels are low. So basically, what Nymph says, Delta is a blithering idiot. So yeah, she's clumsy. She's a ditzy bimbo, big boobed bimbo, basically. Yeah, even though she's Delta is very strong, like ridiculously strong, even stronger than. What Nymph says, stronger than Icarus in close quarters combat. But by the same time, even though she's very strong, she's like I said, she's a blithering idiot. A ditzy blonde bimbo. And clumsy as well. So. And then it gets to one of my favorite parts of this whole series. One of my favorite parts of this whole series is when, since they're talking about Tomoki and his dreams, Nymph suggested they do something they want to dive into his dreams. So they do something that's called playing the dive game, where they dive into other people's dreams. And you get this is not my favorite part though, but it's funny that when they're diving into other people's dreams, like. First, they dive into Mikiko's dream, and I forgot to mention how Mikiko is, even though she's a daughter of a organized crime boss, basically. But her personality, even though she's like sort of like smiling a lot of times, but she has like a sadistic look about the way she smiles, you know. And she comes up with some very sadistic stuff, and she does act crazy. Like, she's obsessed, you know, with guns and all that stuff. Like, she starts stabbing and she starts shooting everybody. So yeah, she does have a little bit of a woohoo personality to her. And then the funny thing is, another funny, hilarious, one of my favorite funny parts of this series is when they go into Sahara's dream. And you can say probably she's kind of like hypocritical. She's always cry chopping Tomoki for being an actual pervert and all that stuff. Well, when we go to her dream, she's like, oh, she just wanted to find out what she's dreaming of. And technically, you can probably say that she's a much bigger pervert than Tomoki is from my perspective, because she actually, in her dream, she actually enjoying being like caressed by Tomoki. Like, they're looking to see, like, she's in the shower, and she's like her dream self in the shower, and she's like allowing like Tomoki to caress her chest, you know, and then since they don't want her to see that, she doesn't want them to see that, she starts cry chopping Sugata and Tomoki. He's like, what is your problem, you sick pervert? How can you have such a sick dream? And then she starts seeing other versions of herself and like wearing these different outfits, being, you know, enjoying being touched by Tomoki. Like, one part she's like the multiple version of herself, one like wearing a bunny outfit, or dressing as a cop, or wearing like one of those S&M outfits, you know, and she enjoys being tied up and whipped. So yeah, Colin, you say that she's hypocritical, so she always hitting Tomoki for being a pervert. She actually likes that, and she dreams of actually liking that. So you can say she's more of a pervert than he is, because it's just too embarrassing for her to find until she finds out. So you can say that she's kind of like hypocritical on that. But I find it hilarious, because there's even a moment where in the first season where Tomoki asks what did she dreamed of, and there was a moment where she was gonna get married to Tomoki, and actually the dream Tomoki is when they're dressed in bride and groom, right, and Tomoki's caressing her breast, is like, oh, you pervert, and all that stuff. So yeah, you probably say, yeah, she technically does like it, but she's just too embarrassed. That's why she goes and cry chops him for that. Well, wherever he acts like a pervert. So that's my favorite, the funny parts of the series, where that she's doesn't want to see what her dreams is. And then, but then when we actually get to Tomoki's dream, they actually go right. They arrive actually at the synapses. They see this tall pillar and other stuff as well. And you get one of my favorite pieces of the music of the series, where they go to the synapse. You get this So try to explain the best way that would. I can't do the music otherwise again. You ever wonder why when I do my anime reviews, I like to to do the intro for themes and stuff like that, or other pieces, but I can't do it because I'm afraid I'll get flagged for that, because I can't, because how YouTube is so broken and very picky on certain things. I would love to hear just to add a little piece of music that I like and other things. So, but the thing really when Sugata goes back to the synapse to hear this. I can't do it properly, but it's that type of music when he goes to the synapse, like a second time where he goes back to where he takes Sahara with him into Tomoki's dream again, and that music is playing, and I really enjoyed that piece of music. And this is why I get one of my favorite parts of the show, where it's not comedic to me. It is, and it shows like a little bit dark and a little dark part of the show, where they arrive at this entrance outside where this big dome building is, and when he touches the door, he goes from different places where people don't see him though. He's like a projection of himself, but he's in different places where people don't see him, and they see where he sees where Tomoki's like he tied up his fishing, right, and then he hears two voices behind him, two other girls. Like one girl's like, "Oh, it's that pervert Tomoki. Oh, he's always getting some kind of trouble," and then this other girl, which we introduce, this new character that gets introduced into this movie, which I'll review next, the Angeloid of Clockwork, which her. Hiyori. So we introduce her into right there where she's saying, "Oh," because she likes Tomoki, and she's like says, "Oh, well, wherever I see him, I know it's gonna be a fun day. I guess I like him." So then Sagata, he gets transported inside the dome where she sees all these other angeloids tending these chambers or these capsules. And he's like, this dome, it's like some kind of nexus, and he's like, are they keeping a constant watch over us all? And then he is shocked where he looks at one capsule and he sees a girl in there, an angel basically, and he sees Hiyori. So he sees the real Hiyori inside, saying, in her chamber, saying, "I guess I like him." And then he sees that Sohara and those two other the two harpy angeloids holding her, and they explain to him like, "What do you think they're doing in their capsules, Bug? They're dreaming, of course." So, yeah, the real Hiyori, who's really an angel, and as well the other people are in the capsules. You don't see them, though, but you assume, though. So the real ones that are inside, they're dreaming, and which kind of like creates like earthbound bodies, replicas of themselves, to live as humans down on Earth. So the one we see, the one that Sagata saw in that split second, and in here for the most part, is actually the not real Hiyori. It's the earthbound form body of Hiyori, which I'll explain more in this when I get to this here. So then the dive game comes up, and they're like, "Oh, you're playing the dive game?" And I like what Sagata he's like calmly does when how typical when they do this with their glasses, and he's like. He's like, "I knew you'd catch me eventually. I factored it into my timing as well. You're not all that different from humans." And he does that. Since they were shooting at, but it goes right through him because they're in the dream. So I was like, and like he tells like, "And as for whoever's in charge here, I know you're watching. I shall return." So yeah, the master, he was watching the whole time. So. And then then he explains to Nymph that he's like, "Do I really exist?" So he's like, because he saw the capsules, and Nymph says, "Yes, you are real." And since then, he's been like kind of like jumping in and out of the, and using the dive game to jump in and out of the dream to avoid those two angeloids until one point where. He gets pulled into another portal by the blue-haired angel, who's been seeing in all of Tomoki's dreams, telling her, she's been telling Tomoki, "Oh, beware," or speaking to Tomoki in his dreams throughout the series, wherever he's been dreaming. So, but her name is actually Daedalus, and she's the one who's responsible for creating our angeloids of Icarus, Nymph, and Astria. Basically, she calls them her daughters, basically. And then she's talking with she has Sagata in her place, and the Master Synapses has unleashed a second generation angeloid and calling it Chaos. And a very powerful angeloid, and like first it kind of like manipulates, like it can change, like it first it was made to look like just she disguised herself as Tomoki to lure like a nymph and Icarus. So it kind of like changes the form to look like Tomoki, but she's proven to be very strong, and like the ones where Astria battles her, and she just proven she's strong in close quarters combat. Even though Daedalus says, even when Sagai tells her, it's like, can she beat her? And Daedalus is like, the Delta is dumb. Although I could have given her more to work up upstairs. But in close quarters combat, she's unstoppable. Yeah. But Chaos starts fighting from a far distance since she's vulnerable that way. And the whole time she's explaining, do you know what love is? What's love? And the whole time with Daedalus, not Daedalus, Astria, Delta, she's been like, this psychic, you get another good moment with when Tomoki starts talking serious to her. He's like, I knew you were sent to kill him, but what do you want? What do you want to decide for yourself or not? Basically, and basically she tells when the Master of Synopsis is telling her to carry out his orders, she goes, shut up, and she goes and breaks his chain, freeing herself from her master. So yeah, she goes and breaks her chain, and it's like, oh, the Chaos like, oh, you broke your chain, naughty naughty. And she's like, I am dumb, okay? I don't know what love is. I'm stupid. But she does prove it to be very strong in battle, though, and Icarus unleashes her Uranus Queen mode and sends her to the bottom of the ocean. Hopefully that's like the thought that stop her, but apparently it didn't. Not yet. And like afterwards, you get another hilarious episode where that festival is going on again. Tomoki starts running. When he sees that big guy again with the cigarettes from the first time, like with the gum booth, he's like, "So we meet again." Well, this is the third time he meets the guy, because the second time they did from the first season they did like a wrestling tournament. So, but this one, the Mika organizes another tournament, and it's for all the guys to have all the to catch all the girls, like big boob girls, to pull them out like fishing for the girls. Whoever's got the biggest boobs wins. Like, catch as many as you can, basically. So that's another funny episode. But but it's at one point though where Icarus, she like starts erasing her memories of Tomoki. And then, while it's said and done, like Chaos, first she starts out looking as a little girl, but she like evolves into more of her grown up form. She battles him again, saying, "Oh, I found what love is." It's just saying what love is. And finally, when Sugata takes Tomoki to finally meets Daedalus, the girl that was in his dreams this whole time. Even though he has many questions, though, but Daedalus gives him this locket to hold, to lock Chaos's powers away, I guess, I get. But eventually, all three of the Angeloids, they fight. Eventually, they overpower and they defeat Chaos and puts a lock on her to restrain herself, and Daedalus is gonna restore it back to how she originally was. And then it ends, because it ends with all of them becoming a nymph and Astria. Even Chaos wants to be Tomoki's master, so basically he's forced to agree to that. So, and that's the end of the season. But I'll get to that though eventually when I review this. This will be the next review though, so I'm doing this one separate though. But as for the show, Heaven's Lost Property and the second season, Forte, I really do enjoy the seasons, both of them. And it has a high 7.5 IMDb. And I forgot to mention for High School of the Dead, it is at like a 7.1 or 2 on IMDb. So both those animes get pretty high ratings. So this is like it's liked by a lot of people. So, but I really enjoyed Heaven's Lost Property. It's one of my favorites. So I would definitely say that. You get like pretty decent character developments, but a lot of times it's been treated as a comedy though. But you get a lot of serious dramas and action, serious dark moments. Like my favorite moment is when Sugata finds out what the synapses really is, and he looks in the capsules. He finds like the real Hiyori. Even though he's never met her though, but just, we know beforehand that's the real one. Like that, including with that piece of music that when he's in the synapses. I keep butchering though, but that piece of music that I really do like. So yeah, Heaven's Lost Property, the first season, the second season, which the first season came out in 2009. This came out in 2010. I think when I get to the when I get to the movie, get more in that though. But I enjoy Heaven's Lost Property. So I do enjoy the voice cast for the English dub was good, and I get some plenty of chuckles and laughs. So, but that's my review on Heaven's Lost Property, the anime series. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next review for Angeloid of Clockwork. Later.